My name is Colton Kursop. I'm the Manager of Project Development in Housing and Homelessness at the City of Edmonton. The city is currently developing a Good Neighbour Plan for the new bridge housing at Exhibition Land. This brief presentation will provide the background information that you need to understand the project and the input we're seeking to inform the Good Neighbour Plan. You can provide your input through the Engaged Edmonton website. The City of Edmonton and its partners have made progress toward ending homelessness through a 10-year plan built around the Housing First philosophy. Housing First means that everyone has the right to safe, secure, and stable housing and removes all barriers to accessing housing. It helps people move from homelessness into housing by ensuring they have the necessary supports in place for them to remain housed. There are approximately 2,000 people experiencing homelessness in Edmonton right now. Some access the shelter system, while up to 500 sleep outside on any given night. People sleeping outside or in shelters are vulnerable and can be victimized. They may carry trauma from their past or from the experience of homelessness. Many people that experience homelessness have complex needs. Homeward Trust is a nonprofit organization that plays an important role in addressing homelessness in Edmonton. Along with providing funding and oversight to service providers, it manages the by name list. The by name list is a list of people experiencing homelessness who are ready to be connected to housing support. That's how the future residents of bridge housing will be identified. Neighbors of the exhibition lands may have questions about what bridge housing is and who will live there. Bridge housing is not a temporary overnight shelter where people have to leave during the day and return at night. The site will not offer walk-in service or support. Bridge housing is short-term, continuous stay accommodation that helps people bridge the gap from homelessness to housing. It helps people transition quickly from sleeping outside to being permanently housed. It does this by providing a safe space to stabilize and focus on the search for housing in a supportive environment. Residents will be referred through a process led by Homeward Trust that identifies people who are committed to finding housing. It is a rigorous process that ensures that residents are a good fit for the program. Once selected, residents receive on-site health and well-being supports. They will also be connected with a housing worker who will help them secure permanent housing. Residents stay for an average of 30 to 90 days before moving into housing that works for them. The dormitory on exhibition lands is an unused city asset that is purpose-built for accommodations. The city is spending approximately $600,000 on renovations. A similar building on the private market would cost between $2.4 million to $5 million to purchase. This approach is a quick and cost-effective way to provide bridge housing. On June 22nd, City Council approved a below-market lease to Homeward Trust. The lease is for 3 years with an option to extend for another 2 years. There is also a 180-day termination clause should the building or land be needed as a part of the exhibition land's redevelopment. Homeward Trust will issue a request for proposal to select a trusted operator in the sector that can deliver this service. Operating costs will be covered by Homeward Trust. Renovations will take place over the summer so that residents can be ready to move in by the fall. The dormitory is southwest of the racetrack and north of Borden Park off of 79th Street. It housed jockeys racing at Northlands until 2018, and it is currently empty. The building is up to code and requires minimal work to make it safe and ready for residents. City staff sought the expertise of several housing operators and gave them a tour of the building. The housing operators confirmed that the dormitory was an appropriate site for bridge housing and provided advice on how to set it up for successful operations. There are 36 dorm rooms with a maximum capacity of 78 people. Even at single occupancy, there is the potential to transition at least 150 people out of homelessness through this building each year. The exterior of the building will not change significantly. Doors and windows will be replaced as needed, and a fence will be built to separate the building from the rest of exhibition lands. The main floor features an office space for intake, a commercial kitchen, cafeteria, and washrooms. The basement has storage space and laundry facilities. Residents will live in the dorm rooms on the second and third floors, where there are also shower and washrooms. There are 20 parking stalls, and there will be very little impact on local traffic, with up to 6 staff driving into the site on any given day. We know that neighbors have questions about how they will be affected by this new service. It's important to understand that social disorder, often associated with homelessness, things like litter, needle debris, or disruptive behavior, is a symptom of a lack of housing and appropriate support. Bridge housing is a part of the solution. The residents will have 24/7 on-site supervision. There will be a minimum of 2 staff on site at any given time. During day shifts, there will be up to 6 on-site staff offering supports and services to the residents. There will be a secure entrance at the front of the building, and the bridge housing residents will not have access to the rest of the exhibition land site. Security will continue to patrol the rest of the exhibition land site. The operator will set standards for the behavior of the residents. If those standards are not met, it is possible that a resident would have to leave the bridge housing program. The city is asking for your input on a Good Neighbor Plan for the bridge housing on exhibition lands. A Good Neighbor Plan is a tool for developing and maintaining a positive relationship between bridge housing and the communities it is a part of. This is achieved through a commitment to mutual proactive engagement, contribution, and neighborliness. This plan will include information about the community service agency that will operate the site. It will outline the shared responsibility between Homeward Trust, the service provider, and the residents of adjacent communities. And it will identify who the community can contact with concerns or questions. The plan demonstrates a shared desire to create a peaceful and safe neighborhood, support diversity and inclusion, share respectful, open, and honest communication, and help each other address concerns and solve problems. We value your feedback and we want to hear your thoughts. You are invited to provide your feedback on what the Good Neighbor Plan should include. We also want to ensure that you have all the information that you need. Please feel free to ask questions about the project. We will listen carefully and consider your comments and suggestions. We will then release a What We Heard report to the community that summarizes key themes. Following the What We Heard report, we will review your feedback and provide an updated Good Neighbor Plan and share that with the community. In terms of next steps, digital engagement is underway on the Engaged Edmonton website. We will release a What We Heard report publicly to capture the feedback that we heard. We will then report back to City Council on engagement and the Good Neighbor Plan in the fall. There will be opportunities for a virtual information session and a virtual building tour in the fall.